All right, what's up, guys? So today is, what is it, Arms Day? Yeah. I'm at the park right now. I just wanted to talk here and chill, especially because I did cardio. I don't like to do cardio in the gym as of late because every time I go there, it's like later at night, and I don't like to go at the house too late. I want my sleep schedule to go back a bit normal so I can sleep, especially that I'm bulking. Sleeping is essential to grow more of the muscles coming in. As of right now, we have about 2 days until, let's say, 2 weeks of data that we've placed in for the bulk. I'm not gonna really say much about that because we still have to wait. Until we get that 2-day response, I can really say, all right, have I gained weight, eating the amount of calories I have, but we'll see. Yeah, and for arms, I do want to switch it up a bit because ever since these past 2 arm days, which you guys haven't seen because I've been analyzing more of my workouts, I've noticed that my biceps haven't been activated as much as they should. When I used to do the dumbbell curls inclines, having that variation of twisting the wrists, I could feel a lot more peak coming into the biceps, especially doing concentration curls, doing a superset of hammers and concentrations and doing that incline. And spider curls have not really failed me. Yeah, spider curls are are a very powerful tool for me to use for biceps, but anything else has kind of degraded a little bit. And so I figured that we're probably gonna change those 2 exercises. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put in cable bicep curls and easy bars. I noticed that when I do cables, I get a lot more tears on the bicep, and especially lactic acid. When I have those 2 signals, lactic acid and muscle fibers tearing, that's when I can know, like, okay, we're doing well. We're breaking this muscle well enough. Not just thinking that you're breaking it, but you don't feel much lactic acid. My indicator for growth for me has always been lactic acid. It's been the pump. So sometimes people think that, like, you can get a pump if you do very lightweight. Yes, but that's not exactly what I'm doing, because I'm going to failure with moderate weight, not just purely lightweight. So that's kind of black and white to say. I think those 2 exercises have plateaued a little bit. We could reap a lot more benefits switching just a bit on incline dumbbell curls and the hammers, because it doesn't feel the same as it has. Yeah, I know the feeling. Like, there's a feeling in your bicep, especially if you're a guy, because for girls, you don't really give a shit. For guys, we're looking for peaks in size. So when you hit them hard, you're gonna feel a lot of lactic acid. Now, not so much, and I'm like, I don't like that. I like the feeling of the pumps. Yeah, I'm a bit old school. So we'll switch that up for triceps. I don't think we'll switch much from that. My triceps have actually grown a bit more from the variations and different exercises we've been doing the last month. Shoulders is kind of in an area where it's like, it's kind of undefined. I don't know if I should increase it or not. It's still in that thin line where I have to just see a bit more days to see how much my shoulders can grow. When I've been training the way how Dorian Yates does it, I felt my shoulders have shrinked a little bit, just a little bit. And kind of the same scenario with biceps. I don't feel like there's been much lactic acid. But when I do the delt workouts that I've done myself, like the mixture, my delts get popping, especially Charles Glass, the variation that I do there, the side lateral delt pops out more. I've always been an advocate to bring out my rear delts. I should add an exercise more particularly tailored for rear delt. For a month and a half, I've thought I'm gonna pretty much hit my rear delts like if I'm hitting my calves every 2 days or so. The rear delts is harder to develop compared to any other part of your delt, whether it's your front delt, whether it's your lat delt. The rear delts are something that's hard. If you unlock your rear delts, you're a step ahead. Not much guys have rear delts. It's a 3D dimensional shape. Whenever you do a side chest, that rear delt pops out. So it gives more of that 3D look on your posing, whether it's rear double bicep, whether it's side chest, whether it's hell, even tricep, side tricep. Yeah, you're ahead of the game if you have a rear delt. It's a bit of a stubborn muscle, but yeah. And you know what, talking about stubborn muscles, I've actually thought recently, like, I do want to train muscles that aren't looked at often. That would be forearms, that would be neck. Yeah, you heard me, neck. And that would be obviously calves and stuff. The reason why neck is important, in my opinion, is because you might as well make everything increase. I mean, if you're really serious about bodybuilding, just having, even though neck is not necessarily something particularly looked at more whenever you're posing in a stage and you're competing, no, it doesn't. Usually when you're competing, people are looking more for the back, I would say. If you have a good back, you do well. Triceps, arms, quads are extremely important when you're competing, quads and hamstrings, because you're hitting rear double biceps. You take your step back, you do the lat spread, everything is showing from your hamstrings to your calves. You get fucked up if you don't have legs, if you don't have legs in bodybuilding. But for more of an aesthetic look, I would definitely like to get my neck size much more thicker, and my forearms as well. Yeah, that's now for just more personal reasons. I think it would look cool. Make me look more Baki-esque, if I was to say. Just fucking big. In a few hours, I'll go to the gym. And yeah, we'll hit some arms. We'll do delts, biceps, triceps. And if anything comes to mind that I think I can do better in an exercise, we'll see from there. But yeah, I'll see you. All right, we'll start with very lightweight. Do 30 pounds, kind of just to warm up a little bit more at the shoulders, and we'll get into the working sets. Let's start the working. I think for the working we should do not really that different, just a 10 on extra on the 40 pounds. And I think the max push on maybe 70, maybe 60. We'll see. Let's get it 50. I'm not gonna lie, this might be a bit angle, but I just want to see. Let's get the 60s. All right, I think that pre-exhaust is pretty good. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, let's damn, I wish I brought my hat. I'm pretty much pre-exhausted, so I don't think it's necessary to warm up as much. We'll just go straight on to working. All right, let's get it moving. All right, so let's move up the weight. Yeah. All right, that took a long time. Let's get it.
The trying to even find the weight, the 25 took a bit more than what I wanted to, so lactic acid went down a little. I try to make sure that this one will go to failure. Up until nothing left. I want to do the side laterals, but I feel like we can do something better. All right, so we'll do these instead of the dumbbells just because the weight increment here is very limited. It's by 5. If I'm doing something like this, I want it to be like 2.5. So it's better if I just do this on a machine. Yeah. I rarely ever do this machine, so we'll start not that heavy. Super 30. There's some machines where, depending on how even this impacts this little pad here, it's pretty thin, so it's a bit more tightened on my arms. Just the level of comfort is not the best. Yeah. Not even that heavy, but it's kind of like when you do cables. There's a certain movement that you actually do activate the delt, and it's I don't know if you guys seen me do that was shoulders, and yeah, I remember that, shoulders and triceps. Went back when I was training Dorian's program. We were doing this thing on the cables where you would hold them down below in between each cable and bring it upward. Well, this is kind of the same thing in terms of resistance once you reach that upper part. So it gets harder as you bring it upward, making the weight amount less because of that extra resistance going in. Maybe if I, yeah. It's like for me with the leg presses, it's trying to retain that tension under the muscle. But yeah, that wraps up for delts. We'll move on to biceps. And this time we'll do the cable with an easy bar. And after that, we'll do easy bar curls over there. Kind of a mix around what I did with Dorian, but more of my particular style.